Hi, Mr. Richmond. This is your Unit 10.1 lesson summary. Unit 10.1 will be on interpreting and creating frequency distributions. In Chapter 10, what we're going to do a little bit different in the statistics realm is we're going to look at what we call categorical data. Categorical data will be data that is a type of item, food, colors, things like that. So we're not going to have the ability to make scatter plots and line plots anymore because we're not going to have two different numerical entries. We'll have a numerical entry in the sense of how much of it we have, the frequency at which we had it, but everything else will be a type of item or word. So we'll have to display this a little differently. So we'll jump right into the kind of questions we'll ask you and the type of activities we'll do with this. So one of the first things we'll do to display categorical data is make a two-way frequency table and a two-way marginal frequency table. So let's do that for this data. So I have a bunch of students, John, Sue, Keisha, etc., and their genders, male, female, and what their favorite color was. So I have two options for gender, male and female, and so when I make a frequency table, I want to identify what those two variables are. Since my first variable is gender, I can give them a place in the table. So I have my males and my females. So all of my male data will appear here along this horizontal row, and all my female data here. Then the options for answers. We surveyed what their favorite color was and they gave us a single answer. So colors will be my other option, my other variable in the problem. And my color options are red, blue, and the only color they could have answered was green. And what a frequency table does is you use little tick marks or tally marks to represent how many of each of these you have. So I can tally it up and then total the number if I like. And so I'll kind of represent both together on one so you get an idea of how both would look. So I can start with males that preferred red. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 males that preferred red. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then I'll write it numerically as well so you can see. Males that preferred blue. 1, 2. So 2 males that preferred blue. Green. Scanning for males first. Male green. 1. Only 1 male that preferred green. And I can total up the total males in the situation. I had 6, 2, and 1, so I'm counting 9 males total. And I want to double check, so it gives me a chance to check. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 males. So did that accurately. Now females that preferred red. 1. I see 1. So 1 female that prefers red. Females that prefer blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. And females that prefer green. 1, 2. I only see 2. So total that's 4, 5, 6, 7 females. So I can already see now it looks like they surveyed more males than females, or there were more males in the class. Let's double check that female wise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 females. It's working out good. Now I can total. How many students in total prefer red? Well, 7, 6, and 3. And if I total that all up, that adds to 16. And if I total the totals down the other column, it's 16. So it just gives me a good verification that I have everything in the right spot. Okay, so that's a frequency table. It keeps track of the number of each. And it makes it a little easier to make assumptions and answer questions about the data. Now another useful method is to construct a double bar graph or a regular bar graph because it gives me a nice visual display of everything. And I always want my numerical quantities going on the y-axis. So the highest I'll ever have at any time is 6, so I need to at least go to 6. I'll start at 0 and go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, just so we have room for everything. Okay? And on the x-axis, I'm going to need to set up my labels for my bar. And you have a couple options. You can put the 4 different colors and then do 2 different bars for male and female. Or you could do male and female with 4 bars for each of those. Do it however you want, or however the problem asks you to do it. But for me, I prefer having less bars to give labels to. So I'm going to only have male and female be my bars, because I do need to write a little key for that. And I'm going to make it easy. I'm going to go males are colored in, females are not. But you can also use other ones like slash lines or dots to represent. Okay? My first group of item is people that prefer red. And then I have blue, and then I have green. And so for a double bar graph, I'm going to have 2 bars for each of those to represent it. My first bar for males that prefer red should go all the way up to 6. So I'm going to draw a bar that goes to 6, and it should be colored in, because I chose that in my key. I just needed a way to distinguish the bars from each other. And my female red should only go up to 1, and that one will not be colored in to represent females. And I'm going to have 2 bars for each one. The number of bars you have should match the number of red of color gender combos you have. So there's 2 possible genders, 3 possible colors, multiplied together is 6. It gives you the total number of possibilities there. Blue males should go to 2. So I'll go up to 2, color it in. And females that preferred blue was 4. And that one will not be colored in. Males that prefer green should go up to 1. Females that prefer green should go up to 2. That's white. And so I've made a double bar graph now to represent that information. What's nice about this is it gives you a much more clear view of everything. I can look at the bars and go, wow, males preferring red was the most common, and they had the most of that. It's the highest bar. By comparison, there's a lot less over here in the blue-green zone than there was in the red height-wise. I can see what males preferred the most of, what males preferred the least of easily, what females preferred best and least very easily, making it easy to answer questions. So you need to be able to be prepared to make a frequency table and a frequency marginal table that includes the totals like we did here, represent that as a bar graph, and then interpret the bar graph and answer questions. So let's try answering a couple quick questions about this. Like, what color did the majority of boys prefer? So what color did the boys prefer the most? If I look at the board chart, it's obvious that it's red. Red is the one that goes the highest for the boys. What color did the majority of girls prefer? Again, I think the chart would be easiest. I look at my white bars, and blue goes the highest for the girls. What color did the majority of students in general prefer? Now that is a little tougher to read here because I have to total the bars up. So what might be easier to use there is my frequency table. If I look at the totals, what total was the highest for all students, male and female? And if you look at it there, it's 3 for green, 6 for blue, 7 for red. So the majority of students in general, male or female, preferred red. So this is the introductory section. It's going to be real important we can do these skills well because everything's going to branch off this. But as far as difficulty goes, it's not too tough compared to some of the things we've done. So hopefully it's a nice change of pace. Thank you and good luck.